Hey guys, and welcome back to another FM22 Transfer Guide with me, Raxo FM, where today we are looking at 3 signings and 3 sales for FC Barcelona. I've just done a 3 signings and 3 sales for Newcastle, the richest club at the moment, and now I'm doing it with one of the poorest clubs, with all the financial debt we know about, with Messi leaving the club, with all the drama. It is going to be a difficult challenge to bring in some decent players for the squad, but I think I've done a pretty good job of it. They have not done incredibly well so far, dropping down to 3rd position and 2nd position in their last 2 seasons, but I think we can claw them back up to the top with a couple of intelligent purchases and a couple of intelligent sales. If you guys sound like you're going to enjoy this episode, can I hear you enjoying it? No, okay, can't. But just, like the video, subscribe to the Rex FM YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of the future videos that will be coming your way with 3 signings and 3 sales, as well as series coming left, right, and centre on the Rex FM YouTube channel. And without any further ado, let's jump into taking a look at how bad the damage is in this Barcelona team. And straight away it looks pretty bad because you've got quite a bit of debt. If you actually go to the debt and loans, you can see it's about, I don't know, £1.21 billion worth of it. So you haven't been given a transfer budget this year. However, we do actually have a wee bit of a wage budget. If we go to the scouting page, we can actually see that there's 51k there for you to spend. So a free transfer maybe, but we are certainly going to be relying heavily on our sales to bring in that money. We only get 35% of what we sell though. So some big players need to be leaving the football club. In terms of club vision, the side do want you to be challenged for the First Division title with zero pounds in your bank account. I do not envy the boys and girls that take on this challenge as an actual manager of the football club. All I have to do is make the transfers and the sales and the signings, of course, and even I really struggled with this one. But I've done it in the end, and I know exactly who I'm selling. Let's jump into it, and let's get rid of some players. The first player I'm getting rid of is a player that, I'm sorry, I'm not a professional footballer, but he had no right to be in Barcelona in the first place. Don't get me wrong, he's been alright for them in real life recently, but when you think of Barcelona, you're not thinking of Martin Braithwaite, a man that has dropped all the way down to the Sky Bet Championship and scored 3 goals with Middlesbrough at one point in his career. How he's clawed his way back up to the squad, I will never know, and how they spent £16 million on him, I will also never know. At 30 years of age, you can get rid of him for around about 12 to 13 million pounds. He's got a high wage as well, not even going to be starting for you. I don't see any reason why you'd be holding on to this player. Get rid of him, get money in. That's what you need to do in this save. I managed to very easily sell him to Tottenham for a tidy fee of £12.5 million. Of course, we only get about a third of that, so £4 million going into our bank account there. But that's £4 million more than we had before for a rotation option that wasn't going to set the world on fire. Don't get me wrong, in real life, not the worst option to have, but realistically, in FM, looking at those stats, is he going to do a lot for us? No. Do we need the money? Absolutely. Let's go sell another player and let's add to that £4 million. The next player that I've sold is a bit of an iffy one, to be honest, because he's a good goalkeeper, but he's 31 years of age and he's only our backup. Neto is going to be leaving the club. He's worth between 24 and 27 million pounds, and oh my goodness, those are some good numbers for us right now. And he's never going to reach Ter Stegen. Realistically, it's just never going to happen. And do you really desperately need a decent second choice goalkeeper? You absolutely do not. Especially when, if you go to the Barcelona B team and look at their goalkeepers, you've actually got some okay options. I would certainly be promoting Pina into the squad, able to play as that goalkeeper backup for you absolutely finely. And Neto, well, I think it's time to cash in, especially when we're in the situation that we're in right now. Time to get rid of the man. In this save, I've managed to get rid of him to Dynamo Moscow, and I'm a bit disappointed with the fee. Only £10.75 million. I mean, I will take it, but if I was a wee bit more patient, maybe I could have gotten a bit more. I think I have to contribute to about £10,000 worth of his wages, so nothing too insane. But to get a man off the books like that, to get all that wage back in, apart from, the 10-ish that you're keeping around, and to get £10 million into your bank account for a rotation goalkeeper, I think is a really good deal and just a smart move to help you make some money. And the last player that I'm getting rid of, Barcelona fans, you're going to be a bit gutted with this one. It's Oscar Minguiza, I believe I'm saying that relatively, not that terribly. He's a right back / centre back option that, to be honest, doesn't have the ability right now to be playing a whole lot of first team football for us, but is going to improve a wee bit in the future and would definitely be an okay rotation option. However, he's the only player I could really sell. I've gone through everyone, tried to get rid of them all. No one wants Samuel and Tutti. No one even wants Longley. No one wants Coutinho. No one wants anyone else in the squad. And he was the only man I could get rid of. And he's the only man I could get rid of that I thought, yeah, I don't mind getting rid of you, because he's not got insane stats. He's not going to get that much better. He's worth between 14.5 and 16 million pounds, which is a decent fee. He's been through the ranking academy, and I do feel a wee bit bad about selling him. But when you're in this situation, big decisions have to be made, and I think this is one of the decisions that you just have to make as the manager, and cut one of our youngsters. We've sold him to Sevilla in the save, and his value has immediately skyrocketed. And Barcelona fans, I want to address the fact that I am genuinely sorry for this. We got 7.75 million pounds for him. Look, if I could have gotten rid of him, Titi, instead, I would have done it in a heartbeat. I did everything I could. But this is the man I'd ended up selling. This is the decision that I have made, and this is the decision I'm going to have to live with. So, 7.75 million pounds there. So that's like what? What's a third of that? Like, let's say two and a bit mil. Is that right? I feel like that's not that bit. So 2 and a bit mil plus like 4 mil from Braithwaite. So you now got 6 mil and about 3 mil from Neto. So you've got about 10 mil to spend, boys and girls, with those wages on top though. So it's a bit of a challenge, but I'm sure you can do it. Go out, find some players to sign. Sorry, I've done it. Let's take a look at who I've brought in, but first we need to look at where we need to improve. This is the team that we have at our disposal when I pick without restriction, and it's a bit sad to say that Griezmann's in it, and he's not even a starting player, so I guess you got to put, I don't know, Ansu Fati out on that right-hand side. To be fair, that sounds a lot, I said that a lot worse than it actually is. He is a very good youngster that you probably would want to be starting. And to be honest, even though we're in the worst financial situation possible, even though we have the lowest transfer value I've ever seen in my entire life, it's not a bad team at all. A couple of youngsters in there, a couple of decent players. I don't think there's any major gaps, but when you take a look at the squad screen, you get a wee bit more of a full picture about what's going on at this football club. For example, at the striker position, I think this is one of the positions where we're actually okay. Griezmann, Sergio Aguero able to play in that position, although he is injured right now. We do have a bit of an injury crisis at the moment, so I don't think that's a position of too much interest. However, on the wing, you can see you've got Depay, you've got Fati, you've got Pedri, and not a whole lot else. Dembele able to play on the right hand side, Coutinho on that right hand side. But again, I would like to address the fact that Dembele is out for another 5 months. This is the end of the transfer window, by the way. Aguero is still out for another 2 to 7 weeks. You've still got Coutinho just coming back from injury. You're lucky that he's even just coming back from it now. You're missing a couple of key players. I think those wing positions are definitely an area that need to be strengthened for the now, as putting reliance on Ansu Fati and, I don't know, Coutinho maybe might not be the most intelligent decision you could ever make. In the cam position, though, you do have a couple of options. Coutinho able to play there, Pedri able to play there. You should be okay realistically with those two, but you just really hope you don't pick up too many injuries throughout the season. In the central midfield position, I think you're okay as well. You know, Sergio Busquets, Jong, Roberto, that's 3 options actually. And now that I reflect upon it, I think this could be strengthened, definitely actually. You've got Xavi who can do a job there, but maybe not enough for the future that is going to be able to start right now, if you get what I'm saying. You know, De Jong is a youngster who can start right now and be good in the future. Roberto's getting a bit older. Busquets is definitely getting older. So maybe a youngster who's going to be able to actually feature in the first team quite heavily will be a great player to pick up in that position. Right back, you're fine with Dest, Roberto, and I don't even know how to say that name. I'm sorry, but that man, I mean, not the best options of all time, but you've got enough in that position. Alba, Dest, Titi, Longley, and again, Wagwe. I've just said it wrong, haven't I? Not the best options of all time, but you do actually have enough in that position. In the centre-back position, sorry, you've got plenty of options in there, and I don't even think you need to think about getting a new player. You got Pique, Arejo, definitely not saying that right as well, Jong, Titi, Longley, and Eric Garcia. Plenty of options there, no worries in centre-back. And in goalkeeper, we've already addressed this. Ter Stegen's an absolutely world-class goalkeeping option with Pina as an okay rotation choice. So, going over that, I think that the positions that we do need to strengthen are the wings. The wings need a bit more oomph, a bit more ability, a bit more cover, especially with the injuries that we have right now. Central midfield could use a younger player that can start in that position, and the defence is pretty solid. But to be honest, with the money that you've got, you kind of just got to take what you can get. If there's a cheap player that is good, take him. I struggled massively with these signings here. So don't expect Messi to be returning. Don't expect Ronaldo to be signed or Mbappe. But I think I've done a decent job with the positions that we need to improve upon. But my advice for you in your Barcelona save is just sign anyone that is half decent and you can actually afford. The first player I got in, and the player on the thumbnail I imagine, is Rodrigo Bentancur, a 24-year-old who fits the bill exactly as I mentioned it before, able to play in that central midfield role as that deeper line CDM, and already has the ability to feature in the first team pretty heavily if you want him to. 24 years of age, still able to improve as well, worth 25 to 31 million pounds, and here is the best bit, boys and girls. I bought him in for 8.5 million pounds. How have I done that? Paying them after he reaches 50 appearances, but we will deal with that in the future. That's probably at least a season and a half away, especially if you're using him as a rotation option. But he is world class, absolutely world class for what we need. Anyone that's 3-star current ability and goes into this team is going to be a great player for you. Probably not quite as good as Busquets just yet, but certainly catching up to him. And if you take into account that Busquets is a whole, 9 years older than him, maybe it would be more intelligent to play Bentancur in that position for the time being, to let him improve and, let Busquets get a wee bit worse at football. So I think this is an absolute bargain signing. If you're not making it in your Barcelona career mode, I don't know what you're doing, but I think this is an absolute steal on my behalf. The next player that we've brought in is kind of just because of the situation that we're in. It's a loan deal for Bernardeschi with no option to buy him in the future. I don't think we really would want to, but he fits that wing position that we need. He's got decent stats. He can play in the central midfield if we need him to. Cam, even striker, all the way back to right wing back. So I love the versatility that he brings to the squad. And he's just a decent rotation option. Probably not going to be starting too many games. I mean, could do early in the season when you have so many injuries. But he's a decent pickup, and only £120,000 a week. It's not the best cheap option you could ever go for. If you can find someone better than him, be my guest. But I think for the situation you're in right now, there's a lot worse players you can pick up. And I will admit, this is probably the weakest of the 3 signings I have made. I did really struggle finding the last signing to make. But I'm happy with the player that we're bringing up next. Him and Bentancur, 2 world-class signings. Yeah, Bernardeschi, it's not my best signing I've ever made, boys and girls. The last player that we've brought in is quite literally a god among men, Jesus Corona. You see what I did there? Sorry, religious people, I feel quite bad about that actually. 28 years of age, so not the youngest player of all time. 3-star current ability, so not the best player of all time. I know, I'm trying to bring it back here actually, but taking a look at his stats, I don't think that the 3-star current ability actually tells the whole story. A man who can play on the left, a man that can play on the right, a man that is either-footed and has great stats to be able to play as the inverted winger on both sides. He still is, yes, 28 years of age, but he was transfer listed and we picked him up for just £12.25 million, and he's already gone up to a fee of £35 million, boys and girls. If this man isn't the man that you want, then sell him. Sell him. Buy him for £12.25 million and sell him a season later for triple what you bought him for. This situation that you're in with Barcelona is going to need a lot of intelligent signings, and this one may not work out, I will admit. He's considered an elite winger though, so I'm expecting him to do okay things for you. With the situation you're in, with the injuries to all your wingers, your cams, your attackers, right now, this man is a great option to pick up. If you end up deciding that when Dembele gets back from injury, you prefer Dembele, there's a high possibility you can sell this man for a profit. And that is what you need to be doing. Making profit, making intelligent deals for the future that are going to continue to help build your squad, build your club back up to the position it needs to be. And we now end this episode with what I would say is a better team than we started. With a rotation option of Bernardeschi, with Corona in there, and with Bentancur in the starting lineup. You still have to wait quite some time for Dembele to come back, a wee while for Aguero to come back. So while you've got the injuries, you may as well give these boys a crack. If you hate them, sell them. Bernardeschi, it might not be the man that you end up picking up, but I have to make 3 signings. You know, imagine if it was 3 sales and 2 signings. It's just not got the same ring to it, does it, boys and girls? But Bentancur, Corona, very proud of those two, especially with the amount of money you actually have at your disposal. I did end up overspending just a wee bit by, like, I don't know, you see better here, like £33,000 a week. And I will admit, the one piece of advice I need to give to you is to do this. So when they ask you if you want to give players more bonus for winning the league or winning the Champions League, move them both down to the lowest option, because you instantly get another like £14 million worth of transfer budget. Is that cheating? Perhaps. Is it intelligent? Without a doubt. And with the situation you're in, you need to be intelligent. I don't think I would have been able to sign Corona if I didn't make that deal, so I'm very happy that I decided to do that. And I hope that you're happy with the transfers that I did make. Please, 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 I'm actually genuinely serious. Let me know down in the comment section below who you signed in your first season for Barcelona. I was trying to sign Dybala at one point. Yeah, didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. It was hard. It was probably the hardest transfer window I've ever done in Football Manager this year. So let me know who you picked up. Was it Bernardeschi? Was it Corona? Was it Bentancur? Or was it other players? Please let me know what you want me to do a transfer guide on next. Is it Arsenal? Is it Man United? Is it Man City? And I know I just listed English sites, but you know, anywhere in the world, I'm more than happy to take a look at. Please subscribe to the Rex FM YouTube channel if you have enjoyed this episode. Like this video as well. And I will see you all later.